before. You know what happened with that? This is like a lot of things in the market, and we're kind of, we're going to divert a little bit here and talk a little bit about the market.
Yeah, it's AI. So what's up?
I might even take this piece out and we stick it in another one because it is kind of interesting. The market when I say the market, I mean hedge funds and naked shorting and dark pooling and all that stuff. I know it sounds conspiracy theorist, but it's true. It's out there. It's happening. That ran up to about 76 cents or so. So people were average. If you look on your apps like Webull or whatever, you can see where most people bought that stock. It rose up to about 76 cents or so. And that was most people's average price on their stock that they held.
Mm.
You notice at the time when I told you about it, I was waiting for it to get below 45, and it did. And I bought it 45, 44, 43, something like that. It finally went to 40, I think 41.416 cents. And then it started to track back up. And then it split the next day. Reverse split. 1 for 40.
Is this the reverse split 16.30% right now?
You're going to have to repeat that, please.
I said, is it Guard Force AI for $16.74?
Yes. Yeah, that already
split.
Did
it do the split already?
Yeah. Yeah.
How much was it before the split?
I got in.
How much was it before the split?
44 cents or so. That's what I got in.
Oh, so then it went up to $16, or is that's after?
Well,
split,
that's the
right?
reverse split. So for every 40 shares, you have one. I had 300 shares. I couldn't get fills because it started to track back up. So I had 300 shares. So what ended up happening after the split, I have 7.5 shares at $17 a share.
Okay.
So the typical ebb and flow of the market, people took profits, those that could. Some people were disgusted and they just got out because they didn't know what was going on. There was very little
having a lot of stock splits.
Yeah, and there's a reason why that happens too. Some of them are just trying to stay alive. They've been trading under $1 for over 6 months, and they just can't. They got to get out. They got to get the stock up or get out of the pool. And so a lot of them choose the reverse split. They do an 8K. They indicate that they're going to do a reverse split, and then they just do it, and they get the stock price up because there's less shares. Now look at the market. After the split, there was only 1.6 million shares outstanding. So this became prime for a run-up. Prime. There's not that many shares. Reverse splits are supposed to get the naked shorters out of the pool. They got to cover.
Facts.
They're exposed.
And the shares are gone.
There's failure to delivers in 2 days. T2. Failure to delivers. So by Tuesday, those positions have got to close out, and they got to close out at the higher price now, which means this should be ripe for a run-up. There's 40%. There's 40 times less shares in the market, and if you were shorting, you got to get out because you're in a sell position. You got to get out. Get out. You got to buy them back.
It'd have been better to buy back and force the pump and then just take everybody's money from there.
Right. Right. And a lot of times retail is called dumb retail because we're too dumb to know how market mechanics work.
I call as the exit liquidity.
The who?
Exit liquidity.
Exit liquidity?
Yeah, for VCs, retail.
Yeah, that sounds. I
like it. Yeah. I like it. The exit liquidity team. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
because mostly retail, like the majority don't really know what they're doing in the market, and they bring in the money. So the VCs use us as an exit liquidity to just reroute and just go and come back again.
Yep.
All right. So, oh, God, I'm sorry.
it's a tough world we live in, as Dion and I both have looked at over the last 2 years, looking at charts. We've come to our own conclusions. We've seen things that we didn't want to see, but we have to acknowledge them because they're there. They're hitting us right in the face. And it's a pretty tough time to be a trader. And it's a real tough time to be an investor. Very tough to be an investor. Better to be a trader than an investor, although many market specialists will say to trade in this market is fool's gold. I don't think so. I think most of us can see where the algorithms are, and we can make money either way if we're willing to do so. So
Also being able to stick with one stock and learn the moves and
over
stuff like
more
that.
than a year. Yes, more than a year. Don't think you're gonna investing means you're gonna be in there for the long haul.
Hey, y'all getting sidetracked. We talking about AI. All right, so hey, what y'all think about this this AI that does the artwork? Y'all think that's gonna take over like designing and logos? That's some more jobs out the door, huh?
Oh, jobs.
That's
I
what
saw a
I'm doing,
report.
right? That's what I'm doing. I'm turning my AI stuff into NFTs.
You might as well, right?
That's exactly what I'm doing. I actually sold one to
Snoop,
this guy.
Snoop Dogg.
Oh
Mm-mm.
no.
No, I actually sold one to
Wait.
this guy, and yeah, I'm gonna upload. I'm gonna upload some more on the OpenSea platform
OpenSea.
or Polygon.
Wait, I didn't look at the article. I was already looking at Rosa making these daggone. She had posted a whole bunch of joints. I like that Bitcoin chair she did
Yeah.
with the AI
Yeah, I
system.
did, and
But
that's me. That's me doing using prompt engineering to get it to do what I wanted to do. At first, it was coming out crazy, so I had to just really
I didn't
talk
see
to it
the
and tell it
bias article
exactly
you
what I
dropped,
want.
Wayne. I didn't see that bias article you dropped. Artificial intelligence is dreaming up a very interesting world over here. Bruh.
Yeah.
But yeah, I already have some people that's asking me, "Oh, can you make this? Can you make that?" I'm gonna go into Fiverr and make book covers. So that's
Did you
another area.
on our next and I'm setting this up for us, by saying this. You want to do a screen share on our next podcast to kind of go through some of those and show off some of your artwork?
Mm-hmm.
It'll be a
Yeah.
shameless plug
Mm-hmm.
for your company. And show us how you kind of wrapped your head around it and how you got it to work and everything like that.
Yeah, because
I think
I'm
that'd be
even
really interesting.
surprised. I'm even surprised that I kind of took the time to get in there and use artificial intelligence to do the art that to get into NFTs, because I would have never thought a few months ago that I would even want to create my own NFTs. But people kept pushing me the more I kept showing the
But
artwork.
you were talking about it too. You talked about it with us.
Oh, okay. Well,
You
I'm
know,
talking about like before I even got into this, I would have never thought that I would have. I wanted to do like the NFT for my son. I wanted to turn you know, his drawings into NFTs. But for
gotcha.
me to actually get into AI and have the AI do it for me, and it just follows the prompt that I want it to do.
Gotcha. It's
Yeah.
making us lazy, isn't it? AI.
No, it's making
Oh yeah.
no. It's making it to where somebody who went to school for 4, 5, 6 years, I don't have to do that. So while they had to pay a hefty price, I didn't have to. I didn't have
We're
to
back
pay
to
a
the
hefty
cliff
price.
notes.
It's
We're-
interesting you say that when you say lazy. Plato and Socrates sat and had a whole conversation about this. And it was weird because it's like it it kind of pisses me off. I'll just put it that way. They were having the same dilemmas that we were having in our society, and they were sitting there thinking like, wouldn't it be nice if this guy that hauls that hay on his back, if he had just the right enough money where he didn't have to work so hard and he could have, you know what I'm saying? And then so at the end of the conversation, they were saying there should come a time and a day where the society itself generates the prosperity for each individual, giving them free time to elevate their mind and their spirit.
Mhm.
So people are not looking at AI or robots in that manner, right? They're not looking at it like, how can we advance our spirit and our mind, right? We only use, what is it, 20% of our minds. And if we didn't work 70-hour weeks, we probably could, I don't know, pray and meditate enough to maybe at least use 25% of our brains, because we're going to have a robot flipping our cheeseburgers
Ah,
and the remote control lawnmower cutting our grass. But
I mean, I got a Roomba in the house.
yeah. I don't know. Maybe one day we'll be more spiritual and intuitive and use these systems to free up ourselves, to help free up our minds and our spirit. But
Yeah, we
people
gotta
don't look
want
at
to.
it that way.
We gotta want to. Well, what do you
Do
guys
you
think?
think would you think we'll get to that place where, like, I feel like there's always going to be a trade-off in this technological advancement, that in the quest we are losing ourselves as humans and more, living into that metaverse world.
So yeah, I think we've been there before, right? Looking at Upper and Lower Egypt, Nubia, Punt, looking at these areas and regions where these people worked and built these giant monuments in Africa, South Africa, South America, Central America, right? And they had
Off slave
everything that they
labor.
needed. No, it wasn't. They had everything that they needed. Oh, there's a guy. I'll send it. You might want to look at it. He said he's an anthropologist. Him and another anthropologist sat down and they said we have to rewrite history. So they wrote a book. They're supposed to have 2 volumes, but one of the authors passed away. No, they thought that these places that they were looking at in South American Africa were palaces, right? And they thought that they were for the rich. No, they were for the common people, because they were doing what they needed to do or what they wanted to do spiritually to help lift the civilization. Then they all just helped each other out and they all lived in these giant little mansions and palaces. Everybody lived on the same equal feel. Of course, there were people that were more intuitive, that had more intuition and understanding. So they were on a different level, but that's just how God ordained them, is how they saw it. That's how the spirit ordained them to be in that position. So then people just automatically respected it because they had a more understanding of the world, the water, the land, agriculture, you know. Yeah, so we were like that at one point in time. I don't know what happened to us, but yeah, when they built that thing to what is it? We all the scripture readers. When they built that tower, when they had the Ball and the Semites over there, and they were trying to build that tower going all the way up to God, right? Those weren't slaves; those were greedy people thinking that they could really achieve greatness and build going
Greatness,
up.
yeah.
Yeah. They just all had this one idea, like, oh, we're gonna build a tower and we're gonna go meet God. We're gonna go all the way into the heavens. They didn't have to whip them to do that. It was just like, that's a great idea. Let's do it all together. That's where we have to, in order to get there, that's where we have to be. And that's what I just hope and pray for. If I'm here on this planet when this whole Revelations thing and 7 years of peace, that we're all um, on a single regularity as humanity. Forget the whole AI system, but no hate, no pronouns, no.
Uh-oh.
And
Oh boy. Legal alert.
Stop
Legal
recording.
alert.
Stop
are we
recording.
recording? Are we recording? When can you stop recording so we can be free?
That's got to get cut
We
out.
still have we still have some time to go where we can just talk about regular stuff.
He said just regular stuff. Hey, that is regular stuff now. I gotta sit down with my daughter. It's gonna be her. She's 8 years old. She's been homeschooled this whole time. This is gonna be her first time next year going to possibly going to an actual school. And I gotta
Wow.
talk to her about, little boys wear dresses. It's a thing. I gotta talk
Wow.
to her about that. I gotta have that with an 8-year-old.
Wow. That's crazy. Of all the things in this world that an 8-year-old will need to learn, man, this
Yeah,
world is
yeah.
getting crazy, man, each and every day. Each and every day, you know, like you said, it's just signs of end times, whether we like it or not. It's gonna get worse from here. It's never gonna get better. That one for sure. And I don't know if anybody have heard anything. It looks like there's predicted famine, like hunger coming in the next year or two, where there's gonna be total shortages around the world.
Yeah,
I can see that
yeah,
easily. Easily.
yeah. That's
That's
supposed to
Yeah,
be
that's
coming
another
in
podcast.
two
yeah.
factor. One factor that's coming in is the lack of subsidies for farmers. Um, I gotta find the book on that. And then y'all mentioned the other one, climate. That climate
Climate change.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, so they're messing with a lot of people in other countries that produce our some of our agricultural machinery,
agriculture too. Yeah,
agricultural
yeah,
machinery. So
yeah.
you got that, and then you have the net zero emissions thing. So it's like a spider web. So then they're saying that because they don't use it, I can't remember this one, so don't quote me on this. Is because they're not using enough chemicals, or because they're using too many chemicals. Is either one. Um, that they have to get that to zero. And if they do that, then that lowers the production. So whatever it is with the chemicals and they want them to get to zero will actually mess up the production. And then so a lot of people are not talking about it, but like where we're this battling that's going on right now in the world, it's in two places actually. One on this border with the the Russians and the other people here over there. That people. That's like one of the most that's in the top 10 lists of the most fertile land in the world. So yeah, there's a lot of grain that's grown there that's not being produced right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully, we're able to get some cushioning a little bit. But the whatever is going out there is, if we can stack non-perishables, we should start doing them now.
Man, you black just like I'm black. Just because your people from Africa and my people were here, you know how to grow some tomatoes. I know you do. You know how to grow some okra. I know you
I
do. You
I know
laughing?
how to do farming. Like, we do that, like whether we like it or not.
Yeah, it don't have to be no whole farming. Get you about four
No,
pots,
just
four
something behind the
5 gallon pots,
backyard.
and
Yeah. Just like,
yeah,
small pepper, small tomatoes, okra, like something little. I mean, like they say,
yeah.
usually, I was born in '84, right? So I didn't see that much of famine, but in '83 there was famine in Ghana, and my grandmom told me about this, and they said they survived through it because of grains, like rice, like
Mm-hmm.
peas, like we call it there's a name that Americans call it, but it kind of looks like peas, but the grains is what is, because those ones, the moment you don't have any chemical to store it, you just have to dry it and air it out, and it's going to stay long for you, as long as you don't have like,
Mm.
like ants and everything sticking into it. So that's what survived it. Grains. Tubers didn't last long, like potatoes, yams, and other stuff. They didn't last long, but grains is what took them through famine. So
Mm.
rice, majority of people, because there are so many things that you can make with rice.
Mm.
So many rice, black eyed peas, some of this
Mm.
stuff. Grains last long. So what I'm doing
So
now
that's
is stack.
what I do. I go to either the Asian Mart or I go to Sam's Club, and I
Yeah,
keep 5 5 gallon buckets. One 5 gallon bucket, or excuse me, two 5 gallon buckets are two different types of rice. One is sticky
okay,
rice, and
rice.
one
Yeah,
is like jasmine rice.
jasmine.
And
Yeah.
then I do peas.
Mhm. We call it
So
beans in
like
Africa. We call it beans. I don't know how you guys call it,
so
but it's kind of
so
like
peas, beans,
whitish.
yeah.
Yeah, kind of whitish with some
Oh,
black.
like the
black.
lima or the pinta.
Yeah, I think you guys call it pinta or something, but like that we call it
Yeah.
beans in Ghana. And those ones,
So
as long as you are able to dry them and air them out, it stays for a long period of time.
yeah, and I do
As long as they're not
I like
GMO.
I do navy beans and black beans, and then the last thing that I do is wheat. So I actually have like a whole 20 pounds of wheat seeds. So with that, I can do my
Yeah,
own
yeah.
flour. I can do my own batter. I could do my own.
Until I come steal it from you.
Yeah, so
but that's all I do. I don't feel like I should have to do a lot, and I do that out of just again scripture. Like
no,
you should have enough for a
all
year. So.
literally like I remember my grandmom saying, and what Americans call, like, I think, is it chili peppers, like the dry ones?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those ones they kept. I think because they like spicy. So most of the things that they can store by just using the sun is what they kept.
Mm.
So
yeah, so then oil and sugar, and then you basically have everything to get your
everything.
calories up.
They didn't worry about sugar because they could get it from sugarcane. So they didn't worry about sugarcane. They could even get sugar from making from palm nuts.
Oh wow!
True. And beets.
Yeah. They could get sugar from palm. I don't know. They make in Ghana we call it palm wine, but the first one is the sweet one.
Yeah.
So they extract the sugar from the sweetness of it. And bees, there you go. And bees, they found honey in bees, and so they didn't worry too much about those stuff. But grains was what my grandma said. They really depended on a lot of grains.
You talking about doing canning and stuff? You already know what to get. Yeah, get your grains up, man.
No, pretty much
just
that's what I'm just passing it on, like, just like we are just talking about random stuff. Like, hey, if it's something that along the line, it's better have it than not need it, and need it and not have it. We've
but
seen
I
how
literally eat through that stuff, like, because so like how do I say this? I wish I would have did heavy cream. I might do heavy cream next time, because I love this online school. My daughter learned how to make butter out of heavy cream. She was sitting there doing a test on it, like how to wash it in water, cold water. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, learning how to make butter, Daddy. I'm like, okay. But
you got a little scientist in your house.
yeah. But I literally just eat through these things. So like I haven't bought beans in like maybe 2 years. Because it takes a 5-gallon buckets, that's like 30-40 pounds of beans, and it's 4 of us. We do eat them.
Yeah.
But so then when I just get low, I just fill them again. So now I'm not paying those high prices that other people are paying, and I usually get about 10 pounds of sugar. Whenever it goes down, I just get another 10-20 pounds of sugar. So yeah, so I forgot about the oil too. So, but we don't eat oil anymore. So yeah, sugar on top of that as well. I mean, I wish I could grow some sugar cane. I might try this year just to see what it's like.
Yeah,
I might grow some sugar cane this
year. Just be on the safer side. We are all family, and we all we got. Share knowledge.
You seen on my Facebook? I grow mushrooms too. I grow king oyster mushroom, shiitake mushroom, and maitake, excuse me.
Yeah, there's so many mushrooms, man. So many.
Yeah,
I love mushrooms.
You could make them you could replace them with protein. In place of a meat too.
Meat, yeah. Very healthy. I remember, like, somewhere down the Pacific Northwest. I don't know. Do you guys know snails, right? Snails.
Yeah.
Yeah, we eat them. But
what?
Yeah.
He said it like it's a cheeseburger. Oh yeah, man.
No, man. Those are delicacies. Those are highly nutritious.
I ate them too.
Highly nutritious.
More than meat.
Yeah, more than meat. They have the wild ones, just like berries. They have wild berries. Some of them are poisonous, but the edibles, the ones that are really edible, oh my God, very nutritious.
A snail. That slime on the, and it's got the
slime. Yeah.
What you do? How you cook it?
So there are so many ways of doing it. Either you can boil it and extract all the sliminess so that, or you can dry it. You can dry it so that all the sliminess is going to drain out. Most people dry it because then you can store it for a longer period of time when they dry it.
So like snail jerky?
Yeah. You can have snail soup. They, my grandma used to make organic, like what's the name? Soup. We use green leaves, very green, just with snail, like vegetable soup, just green with just snails. Man, yum. Yeah. So snails, mostly people who feel like red meat was too harsh on their tummy, usually opt for snails or chicken. So snails was like another source of protein, kinda.
You're supposed
So
to
so
starve snails before you eat them.
oh, so all the murky out of them, kind of like a catfish.
Yeah.
Let the
Yeah.
catfish sit in clean water for a little while and purge.
Yeah.
That is gross, brother. I'm sorry. You gonna
No.
fit right in with the World Economic Forum. They want us to eat worms anyway, right? You gonna
Okay,
fit right
so
in,
there's
ain't you?
so many things that I okay. So in Ghana, right, there's a tribe that just eats dogs.
Yeah, I've heard about them. Yeah.
Okay, I tried it one time. I
Uh-huh.
didn't know I like it. It looked like goat meat. Then they told me it
Yes.
was a dog. They told me it was a dog. I didn't believe. So then, I went with them to the market and they bought it. Right, I could see it was a dog, and they did it. And if they prepare it and you don't know, and they tell you it's goat meat, you believe.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
It's
Have
This
the
is
lean.
beta
same.
goat.
Yeah.
It's very
If it's
lean.
fresh, yeah, it's lean. If it's fresh, is the only distinction is very reddish than goat meat.
Yeah. Yes,
If
it
it's
is.
fresh, that's the only distinction. But if they prepare it, you will not know. You will not know. You just think you just ate goat meat.
What
I'm
about
And
do
a
seeing
y'all
like
like
white.
my
do
dog
y'all
about to
like
cry.
octopus? I like octopus.
I
Yeah, I
like
like
octopus.
octopus. Yeah, I eat
Yeah.
octopus all the
I'm more a
time.
fan
Yeah.
of squid though. I like squid more than octopus.
But
I like
octopus.
octopus.
Hey, I like every seafood.
Yeah,
They
me
are all my
too.
favorites. I just like
Yeah.
seafood. That's it. I don't have a favorite. I just like all of them. All of
Gotcha.
them. But hey, if anybody thinks about any survival techniques, once in a while we can chip it in so we can all find a way to survive if something happens.
That's it, bro. Grow something.
Oh
Go
well,
hit Amazon.
I'll be able to tell you that too because I go camping and I have to
Oh,
sit there
facts.
and
We have seen how you camp. It's
Yeah,
not
you can't
survival.
like. Nah, it's not.
It's
You
not
break your
survival.
back unless you got a pet goat with you.
no, sometimes
When you have a
sometimes I use
laptop,
no,
it's not
sometimes I use
survivalist.
no.
When you have cushions on your chairs, that's not survivalist.
That's not survival skills.
No,
That's
I'm
When
not
you
talking
have a
about
She
lamp,
be in
that's
food
fashion,
wise.
bro. Fashion. She
that's
be
Food
having
not.
little
wise.
ovens and everything.
no.
For
Straight
I don't like
fashion.
camping, but I think the way Rosa goes camping, I think I might love camping if I do camping the way she does.
Y'all something else.
I would too, boy. That thing luxurious.
It's
Because
creature comfort.
I wouldn't miss home though, because it looks like it's comfortable.
Well, it
Yeah.
is, and I'm right by the water. I love anything
It
by
looks
the
better
water.
than home.
They
Two
pretty much
bedroom
like
tents. Like what in the
like
world?
I wouldn't miss home. Like if that's what camping is like, then everybody's gonna enjoy it.
Well, yeah, but the thing about it is, I don't know why people think camping has to be uncomfortable. We're not doing the same thing the military does. Like they want their soldiers to be uncomfortable.
I think the military kind of trains like for survival.
Yeah,
Pretty much that's what I
Well,
see.
it's
Like,
packing. That's
but
why I
not
said
the,
you're
but
gonna have
not
to have a
the,
pack
but not,
animal.
but not the,
It's
but not the Air
packing.
Force. The Air Force, they be having air conditioner and everything in their survival stuff.
It's
oh wow,
packing. You gotta run around with a gun and a whole condo tent. Like you're gonna be
Not the
tired.
Air
damn,
Force. The Air Force,
damn,
they be
damn, that's hell of a work.
You're gonna be tired.
Oh yeah. Trust me. That's
Uh,
that's why we respect. Hey, in Ghana, right? In Ghana, like the citizens respect soldiers more than cops.
that's what I heard. Somebody was telling me. So I have been doing
my friend
research,
went to
right?
Ghana and she said that the I don't know if it was the police. I think it was the police, but they always stopped each cab driver just to collect
Is the cops?
money.
Is the cops? Is the cops? The
Yeah,
soldiers
just
don't
to
do that.
collect money.
Yep.
It's
So
it's it's something that like it's a psychological contract where it's not written on paper, but it's an agreement that has already been there. That anytime the cop even stops you, whether you are good or bad, like they'll tell you just something small for the boys. It's not like extortion, but I feel like, man, life is hard. Maybe something to just drink water, kind of like a tip,
Yeah.
pretty much.
So
But yeah, go ahead. I'm listening.
when I was looking at it, this lady was telling me to rent a soldier, and I was like, "What?" She was like, "Yeah, make sure you when you go, and if you really want to go sightseeing and kind of like just be free,
Yeah.
like go ahead and spend the extra money and rent a soldier." So she's showing me these pictures, and like, yeah, she had a bona fide freaking African soldier with her, with like the daggone Russian rifle. I can't remember what it was. I think it was a ghillie.
AK-47. Most of the time they have AK-47s.
Got you. And she was like, yeah, and then when we get stopped by the cops and if you ask for money, he just shows his ID and they just like run off.
They just right off, yeah. There's high respect. There's high respect for soldiers in I would say in Africa in general. When a cop speaks, right, it holds weight, but it doesn't hold that much weight. It can be a rookie soldier, and it will still hold weight. Because everybody's scared of the soldier because their action go like one
They're
the
out
next
there,
one
they're in
is
the
action on
streets.
your ass. So everybody
Yeah.
avoids, but like cops are like very friendly. People see them very friendly, and I tell them like when it comes to America, rarely do you see the soldiers in the city. Like rarely, unless probably there's a mass whatever going on. But I see cops all the time. But in Ghana, you see soldiers almost every day. Almost every day. So there's high. If you want to go, I like your friend said, just get a soldier to help you. You'll be able to go through a lot of doors easily when there's a soldier with you. Yeah. If it's a cop, it has to be a high-ranking cop. That's it. Yeah.
Well, it looks like we got 2 podcasts done today.
Wow.
Yeah, and I hardly even got anything in.
Yeah,
we're waiting for
I
you
was
to share
quiet over
your
here.
page. Your page, but it look like the next time you're gonna share your page to walk the users through like how the whole thing looks like.
yeah.
I'm not mad. I was tired anyway.
Nah.
I did because I worked 2 a.m. and that was,
you make it. Everybody makes it look effortlessly, like somebody chips in along the line, so it kind of drags in a little bit. So, like I said, kudos to everybody.
Very good. So I guess I should turn the record off and start editing, huh?
Yeah.